So I saw the movie The Phantom Thread a few weeks ago. Not, I wasn't really eager to see it, but since I do these movie reviews and I use Movie Pass, and it doesn't cost me anything really to go see it. So I went and see. I'm not a big Daniel Day-Lewis fan. I think the last movie I saw with him, if it was the same guy, I think it was. Uh, I saw it on this website called Canopy where you can look up movies for free, old ones. And it was about him and a teenage girl, him as an adult, who married this woman just because he was infatuated with her daughter. You know, he was lust. Kind of like a pedophile thing. It was very disgusting, and that was an old movie on Canopy. Now, so that's that's what I associate with him because I think that's one of the only movies I've seen with him. And then now he's in this, and once again it's him and another girl. It's just basically about him and another girl. Well, although this girl is older, they're both adults in this case, so it's not a pedophile thing, but still with him, kind of a domineering man, manipulating, kind of spoiled, very just kind of a despicable kind of character, you know. Although he makes dresses, and he's kind of famous for making these dresses, and you know it goes to his head, of course. He's got this ego that's way too big, and then he has all these little egocentricities that go along with it. And then he meets this girl, and she becomes his model for all the dresses, but at the same time, he he is quite cruel. Not cruel, but curt, I guess is the old school word. Take curt with her. Anytime she does something just out of a little slightly out of the ordinary to his rituals, he gets very upset, and he's not shy about telling her so. Orders her around, bossy, and she takes it at first. She's kind of passive and kind of eager for all the attention that he gives her, even though sometimes it's negative attention. Uh, and then kind of a relationship begins, sort of a love-hate, passive-aggressive romance, and she begins to despise him in some ways. And one day she goes out and picks mushrooms, and there's a slight difference between the good mushrooms and the poisonous mushrooms. She picks up she picks some of the poisonous mushrooms intentionally and puts them in his soup or meal or whatever it was. I'm not sure if she was trying to kill him or just trying to make him sick. It wasn't clear if she knew, you know, what she was doing with it. But anyways, he does get very sick, and she comes to his assistance. So it's like you know, pushing the kid who doesn't know how to swim into the dock and then saving him in the water. You're First of all, you made him vulnerable and needing a savior, and then you're his savior. That's kind of like what this was. And suddenly you know, he doesn't know that she poisoned him, but he's thankful that she helped him through it. And she realizes, hey, this is a way to get some positive love from him, and for him to really need me. But you know, the story goes on, and they resort. Actually, right after that, he asks her to marry him, and she says yes, and they get married, and then the kind of the relationship goes sours again, goes back to the way it was with you know that passive aggressiveness, and you know it continues that way for a while, and then she and the assistant too, this nut, I think he's a nut really, uh, begin to sort of get coy and kind of learn his ways. And he gets angry, like, why are you being so polite? You're killing me with politeness. But they're playing his game. They're just mirroring him. Uh, and then a few other things happen, and she realizes that she has to leave him, or she thinks, well, maybe I'll poison him with mushrooms again, or kill him. Maybe she's thinking about killing him. I don't know what it is, but there's a final scene near the end in which they show her preparing this meal with him watching, him staring intently, and he he's realizing that you realize that he knows what's going on, and she knows that he knows. It's this moment of awareness for everybody, and he says it out loud, and you think that she's gonna flip or something like that, but instead she she responds pretty frankly and says, "It's enough to make you sick, but it won't kill you." And that was the end. That was near the end, and he realized that he needed that to make him dependent on her, and that it would actually help the relationship.